Qantas Freight has implemented a new supply chain improvement program that is set to increase customer service. More than 20 self-service kiosks are now operating across 5 international freight terminals, making the process of freight much easier. Not only has the process been simplified, but the visibility of freight is greater, making it easier for customers to collect their goods. The technology has been well received, according to Melbourne International Freight Terminal's manager, Gregory Spiker, with more than 80% of customers turning to the technology within the first 2 weeks of launch.
The Express Check was introduced in response to what our customers were telling us about the bottleneck in the supply chain for picking up import freight. It was introduced off the back of our introduction of iCargo, which allowed us to use new generation technology. Being a web-based system, it allowed us to address that problem of the bottlenecks in import delivery. The reaction was overwhelmingly positive. In fact, I would describe the whole exercise as the most positively received introduction of new technology in my time in Qantas. In Melbourne now, about 95% of our import transactions are handled by the truck drivers accessing our kiosks and across the iPads on the forklifts. Our business is about half-half import and export, so that half the truck drivers who come here are here to collect freight, and by using the supply chain improvement program, the Express Check, they're able to access their collection list, to build a collection list in fact for themselves, and go straight across to the warehouse and collect their freight without the need to queue up and speak to our staff who may be busy talking to export customers. It also takes the lowest priority of handling, which is import general freight, and by handing it back to the truck driver to organise, it takes them out of the bottom of the queue and puts them at the top. Import drivers will come into the building. They may in fact not come any further than the entrance. They can use the kiosks there to build their collection list and then get back in their truck and go to the warehouse without the need to queue up in here at all. So 60 seconds on a kiosk. The minute they build that list, our forklift drivers are aware that they're here, they know what they're here to collect, and they can start preparing the load. By the time the truck arrives on the loading docks, the freight's sitting there waiting for them, and it's a swift process to collect it and go.
Since the implementation of this, it's been really sped things up a lot. Not having the paper, touch of the screen, it's a lot quicker. Sometimes, you know, we'll even have the freight before the customers arrive. It'll be waiting for them. So also from their point of view, they can see when things have been checked in, and they can also see when things have been picked up. So no more time wasting by any truck drivers, I guess. So it's told me a location here. The team inside have already checked it in. In this instance, they've put it in bulk 4, which is just here. I've got 3 pieces. It even tells me the weight. So if I need a bigger forklift, at least I know what I'm dealing with freight-wise. So I love it. And yeah, it's sped things up immensely.
The introduction of iCargo and a web-based system for managing data gave us the opportunity to develop with our IT partners this Express Check capability, which has put us several years ahead of our competitors. The next phase of this program will be to manage the way we receive the freight from the aircraft and process it inside the warehouse. It links up, if you like, with import freight. It's the other half of the process. So once we do that, we'll have clear visibility for our customers over the movement of freight from the aircraft into the shed, being broken down and stored, and then being made ready for them to come and collect. ExpressCheck has been extremely successful, both for this terminal and for Qantas Freight overall. It's allowed us to now develop the next stage of the process, which will be to manage the freight into the warehouse and give our customers full visibility over the movement of their freight once it arrives in Melbourne, right to the point of collection.